Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's that time of year again, and we got to talk about Hasbro. If Saturday morning cartoons fueled your imagination as a kid and powers your action figure collecting now as an adult, then you're in the right place. Thanks for stopping by, and welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Collector. And if you like my content, please consider subscribing. Well, here we are. I've been thinking about this a lot over the last couple of days and how I kind of wanted to respond to the information that's been coming out about Hasbro. And so I've kind of gathered some thoughts, and I don't have anything written down. I'm not looking at anything. I've got some screenshots pulled up just so that I can, reference some stuff to make sure that I get all my ducks in a row. But yeah, I'm just kind of going to go off the cuff on this and just talk about how I feel about this. So a few days ago, we did get this notification from the story that broke that Hasbro is going to lay off 1,100 employees as sales slump, and they are doing this right now. This is happening right now, and the employees will be they'll know within the next week whether or not, or maybe this week, whether or not they even have a job next year. I got to tell you, this is really timing on Hasbro's part to do it here the week before Christmas. It just shows sort of the lack of heart that this company has for its hardworking employees. And, we don't know where these employees are being fired from. We don't know if they're from any specific brand team, if it's Star Wars or Joe or Transformers or, Marvel Legends, or if it's just, we don't know if this is warehouse workers. We don't know if this is administration staff. We don't know. We do know that it's not going to be CEO Chris Cox, which, what a name. We do know that back in April of this year, it was reported that he earned $9.4 million in 2022, and that's up from his salary of $1.3 million the year before. We live in a capitalist society. Businesses are businesses. At the end of the day, they are here to make money. They are not here to make customers happy. That's not what they're here for. Contrary to what we may think day in and day out, having spent a good portion of my design career in advertising, I know that companies' goal is to trick people into buying things that they don't need and may not even want. It is to trick people into thinking that they want something or thinking that they need something. And that's kind of why I got out of advertising altogether. I'm still in the design field. I'm just not in the advertising part of it. And so, when these companies, when I do believe that the individual marketing and design and brand teams that work on G.I. Joe and Transformers and, Star Wars and Marvel Legends, I do believe that these people truly care about the product and the brand, and they truly care about, what we customers think about their product and how happy we are. But at the end of the day, they are not making the high level decisions as to what's getting produced, what's going on shelves, what it's going to come with. That's so I believe in their earnesty. I believe in their their commitment and their love for the brand. It comes through, especially with the Transformers and the Joe team and the Marvel Legends team. But at the end of the day, they're working for higher ups that are making these bigger decisions. And we're sort of paying the price for that. We're paying that CEO's salary, and we're paying for them to lay these people off right before the holidays. And like I said, it is pretty crappy timing. Now, it is very possible, let's play devil's advocate here. It's very possible that Hasbro's fiscal year ends in December 31st. Some companies, their fiscal year does end with a calendar year. But a lot of companies are not like that. The institution that I work for, our fiscal year ends in like June or July. It ends in the summer. It doesn't follow the calendar year. So unless that's the case, unless Hasbro's calendar year and fiscal year end at the same time, I don't see the point of doing this right before the holidays. Now, I don't think a company that would lay off 1,100 workers the week before Christmas, I don't think that they're the type of company that would even give their employees end of the year bonuses, holiday bonuses, Christmas bonuses, whatever you want to call them. But is that the reason that they just want to do it before they have to do that? Do they want to make a clean break right here at the winter break, the holiday break, and then, start the year off leaner? Is that what they're going for? I don't know. But that's one part to this story. That's the first part, is that the timing of this is terrible. It's absolutely horrible. And it's just not appropriate. Unless the fiscal year ends December 31st, there's no reason why Hasbro couldn't have, at least waited 3 more weeks and done this in the new year if they have to do it. So that's one part of this story. The other part of this story is that this comes amid slumping toy sales. Now, as part of this larger toy collecting group that I'm a part of, as a whole, I know that I've spent more money in 2023 than I probably have in the past years, as far as like buying figures and toys and things like that. I would imagine that's probably the case for a lot of you guys out there who watch this channel. But things are getting out of control. Prices are getting out of control. And I'm going to have to start making some decisions in 2024 when it comes to my collection, and what I'm going to buy and spend my money on. And I got to tell you, business practices like this, like with Hasbro, when they're not giving us customers what we want, what we ask for, and on top of that, they're terrible to their employees, and their CEOs are just making bank. Like, it might be time for all of us to collectively start, speaking up with our wallets and putting our money where our mouth is. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I know that for me personally, I'm not calling for a boycott of Hasbro. Certainly not. That would be hypocritical of me. Because I still have so many pre-orders out there for Hasbro products, from the Joe line to the Star Wars line. I don't have any Marvel Legends on pre-order because I don't collect, maybe a Spider-Man here or there, but I don't collect Marvel Legends. So, but Star Wars is my bread and butter. I love Star Wars. It's my favorite franchise. But I am going to be making some decisions. One, I think I'm going to let my Hasbro Pulse membership go. I can't justify it. When a product goes up for pre-order on Hasbro Pulse, unless it's an exclusive, that figure is going to be, $24.99. That same figure is going to be $25.99 on Big Bad Toy Store. But Big Bad Toy Store is going to get that figure in weeks earlier than Hasbro does. I'm watching right now at the end of the year tons of G.I. Joe pre-orders that are hitting Big Bad Toy Store and they've yet to ship from Hasbro Pulse. And to me, that's just bizarre. You would think that your own company would get the figures first, that it would hit the Hasbro warehouse before it hits Big Bad Toy Store. But that's how it is. I'm even seeing figures show up in Walmart that have yet to ship from Hasbro that I'm still waiting on. So that's just how it goes. So I'm not seeing a huge benefit there outside of the exclusives. So that's at least $50 that I'm going to be pulling away from Hasbro in 2024. The next thing is, we have to look at the pricing and what we get. And, I'm going to say here that, not all of this is Hasbro's fault. Because I think that, with Disney owning Marvel and Star Wars, Hasbro's having to pay that Disney tax. They're having to pay crazy licensing fees for Marvel and Star Wars to Disney that they don't have to do with Transformers or G.I. Joe. Now, I'm not going to talk about Transformers really in this video because when it comes to pricing, there's so much more that goes into a Transformers figure than a G.I. Joe or a Black Series or a Marvel Legends figure. You've got all of that engineering, all the transformation that has to happen, all the tiny little parts, all the, lots of assembly, lots of pins and joints and things like that. So I don't feel like that's a fair comparison, but just looking at, base figures, whether they be deluxe figures or just your baseline, $25 figure, Hasbro, look, they're not doing us right. They're doing us dirty when it comes to what they're giving us. And we've known this for a while. Reuse parts is a part of action figures. It has been since the beginning and it always will be. And that's fine, but it's what you do with those reuse parts. It's what you do with your paint apps or lack of paint apps. It's what you do with the accessories that you choose to include or not include. All of that makes a difference. So right off the bat, like this story hit and then we had several products, Star Wars products, go up for pre-order, right? So here's a prime example of Hasbro like shooting themselves in the foot. This 2-pack with the Super Battle Droid and the Battle Droid with C-3PO's head. Now, everybody has been wanting a sentient scale like Black Series Super Battle Droid for a while. We've wanted them. We want to army build them. We want a bunch of them. We got really excited earlier in the year when they pipelined the Super Battle Droid was coming. Everybody got super excited. We're finally getting one. But this is how they choose to give it to us. They give it to us in a 2-pack with a Geonosian Battle Droid with the C-3PO head. You can't army build that Battle Droid because it comes with the C-3PO head. The C-3PO head should have been an accessory in this pack. A regular Battle Droid head should have been on that Battle Droid body and given you the option to swap them out. More people would buy this product because then you get to army build both of those droids. It's bad enough that you're not giving us the Battle Droid at first on a single card for $25, $26, $27, knowing Hasbro, they'll probably say that's a deluxe figure and it has to be $29.99 or $33.99 for that singular release. But they give it to us in this 2-pack that we cannot army build the other figure. And they make it $60. You're upping the price. This is not two $30 figures. The Battle Droid is not $30 by itself. It's a $24.99 figure. Also, with the C-3PO head, that's a unique character. That should be on a single card for the people who want to buy it. And even then, it still should come with a Battle Droid head for you to swap it out if you want to. I know we've gotten the Geonosian Battle Droid before. I know that. But this is just not the way to do it. So that story breaks, and then they release this 2-pack. It's like, there's your problem right there. There's your slumping toy sales because of the decision you're making. And I've seen it all over Facebook, and I've seen it all over Instagram in the comments. People are like, well, I'll just wait till this hits Ollie or Ross, and pick it up for $10 next year, you know? And that's what's happening. That's what people are doing. They're going to start playing the long game, as Kyle Peterson always says. You know, we're going to be playing the long game on this one. This is the type of stuff that doesn't make sense to me. So I still want to play devil's advocate here for Hasbro just for I want to look at both sides of this, because that Disney tax is a very real thing. It's a very real thing that we have to take into consideration when Hasbro releases these types of products. Because when it comes to like Transformers and G.I. Joe, where they hold the master toy license, where they are the license holder for that, they don't have to pay this licensing fee to anybody else. So that cost doesn't get factored in to the MSRP of an action figure, right? But just looking at basic figures here, like your standard, what should be $24.99 figures, which with Star Wars and Marvel Legends, those prices are starting to creep up to $26.99, $27.99, depending on where you shop and depending on where you are in the United States, right? So let's take a look at a basic Star Wars The Black Series figure, like this 40th anniversary Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker figure, right? Now, this should be a standard $24.99 figure. Depending on where you are, this figure could be $26, $27, $28. And all he comes with is a lightsaber. Yes, he does come up with this little swap out plate, but that's not really an accessory. I mean, it's just a little swap out piece. But if you want to count it as an accessory, count it as an accessory. He comes with two things, right? That's all you're getting. I have reviewed four Black Series figures this week alone. And all of them the only accessory they come with is a lightsaber. That's it. At least an extra hand would be something nice, like a gesturing hand for the offhand that's not holding the lightsaber. But this is what you get. You get a figure and a lightsaber, or you may get a figure and a blaster, or you may just get a figure and no accessory at all, like Morgan Elsbeth or Mon Mothma. Like, you may not get anything, just the figure itself. It's very disappointing. When it comes to Marvel Legends, it doesn't fare much better, especially if that wave doesn't have a Build-A-Figure piece. Here is the new Legend Series Captain America from Winter Soldier. He does come with an extra head. That's amazing. Of course, he comes with a shield. It's Captain America. But that's it. No other accessories. No other hands. That's it. $25, $26, $27. That's all you're getting. Now, on the other hand, you look at their G.I. Joe Classified Series line. Let's just take a random figure here. I had just happened to pull the desert version of Commando Snake Eyes. Look at all the stuff you get. I mean, yes, a lot of this is reused parts. That's common. That's going to happen. It's going to happen in Star Wars. It's going to happen in Marvel Legends. But, I mean, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different accessories. All of his belts and holsters come off. Armbands, that's another 4 accessories right there if you count those. If we're counting Luke's chest piece that comes off. I mean, you get a ton of stuff. Tons of paint apps. It's not even remotely comparable. Now, let's move up to the next price point up. Let's move up to your deluxe figures. Deluxe figures. The ones where they're like, hey, we're going to throw in a bunch of extra stuff and we're going to charge you $33, $34, $35, $36, $37 for these deluxe sets. Okay? Well, let's take a look there. What do we have? You can go to Hasbro. I pulled all this stuff from Hasbro Pulse. Go to Hasbro Pulse and look at their Star Wars Black Series figures and then sort them highest to lowest. And go to that $34 range. Here's what you're going to get. $34. The 40th anniversary Star Wars Return of the Jedi Rebel Commando. This is a fantastic figure. We have some reused parts there. That's not a problem. That's standard. $33.99. So this is a $34 figure. Depending on where you go, you may pay $35, $36, $37 for this figure. He comes with 2 blasters, a backpack, and an alternate face. That's it. Not a lot of stuff, but that's what you're getting for deluxe. You're basically getting 2 extra things than you get with a basic figure. There's no reason for this figure to be $33.99. This is a standard release all day long, but you get 2 extra plastic accessories, and all of a sudden, this is a deluxe. You can't even count the packaging as a deluxe package because the other 40th anniversaries, the Luke, is in this same package that we just looked at. Let's take a Marvel Legends, for example. I pulled this Marvel Legends Deluxe Series Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Probably no reuse parts here because of Groot's very distinctive, look. But what do you get for this $34? You get snap-on wings that are not articulated, 2 extra hands, and a small rocket that's non-articulated. It's just a little statue, tiny little statue. That's it. 2 extra hands and a set of wings. And this tiny little rocket statue. Is that worth the deluxe price? Maybe because it's a bigger figure. Maybe. But that's all you're getting. That's it. Let's look at a deluxe G.I. Joe. Okay? I'm going to pull Tripwire here. Tripwire comes with so much stuff. You could basically make 2 complete different looks for this figure here. Comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 different things. If you don't count the pads that come off of him, that's on him in the figure, plus an articulated drone. It's crazy. For the exact same price point, look what you're getting. Again, reuse parts, but it's what they do with them. And look at the amount of accessories they can throw in. It's ridiculous. It's night and day. There's no level playing field here. And that's all because of, look what they're doing. They don't have to pay a license for G.I. Joe. It's that licensing fee that is eating into their creativity, their offerings, their ability to satisfy customers and give us what we want and give us what we're paying for. Now, the reason I wanted to go into the deluxe category and I wanted to get into that $35 range is because there's a couple of other companies out there that are putting figures out at basically that same exact price point, give or take $1 or $2, and they're killing it. They're absolutely killing it. And one of these companies has to pay a licensing fee, but just not the Disney fee. All right, let's look at NECA. NECA has the license for, 6 to 7 inch Ninja Turtle scale stuff. They're doing movie stuff, comic book stuff, cartoon stuff. It's incredible. All right, let's look at their newest offering, or one of their newest offerings, the Last Ronin Ninja Turtle. This thing retails for $36.99, $37.99, depending on where you are. You could pay more. Look at the amount of stuff that he comes with. There is no reuse parts here. All of this is brand new sculpt. You get 2 different heads, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 different accessories. It's absolutely insane. The amount of stuff. No reuse parts. Articulation is nice. Paint apps are top of the game. They're out there. Now, are they making these figures in the same quantity that Marvel Legends and Star Wars Black Series are? Probably not. But are they any less collectible? Are they any less not filling, what collectors out there that watch the channel, do you guys not own NECA figures at all? Of course you do. I'm sure you own at least something, whether it's from Ninja Turtles or their Universal Monsters or their Predator line or any number of other lines that they all have to pay licenses for. It's crazy what they're able to offer at roughly that same deluxe price point and still pay a licensing fee. How do they do it? Is it magic? How do they do it? I'm sure the licensing fee for Ninja Turtles or Universal Monsters is far less than Star Wars. No doubt. But how do they pull it off? Another company that I love, and this company doesn't have to pay licensing fees, is Four Horsemen. For that same rough price point, $37.99, especially if you get in on the pre-orders, before, on the Four Horsemen's website, before they hit other approved retailers that mark them up. Like right now in Big Bad Toy Store, you can pick up a Mythic Legions figure. They make their bread and butter is reuse parts. That is what makes Mythic Legions is the reuse of parts that are just painted differently. And they take on completely different looks and feels just because of how they're painted. Now, of course, these figures are not produced in nearly the same amount of numbers that, Marvel Legends, Star Wars, Black Series, and all that is. But $37.99, $38.99, $39.99, look what you're getting. You're getting soft goods. You're getting elastic strings on bows. Superb paint apps. Some of the best paint apps in the action figure game. Hands down. Great articulation. Tons of storytelling. It's a night and day thing. Now, of course, they don't have to pay a licensing. This is their line. They make it. They don't have to pay a licensing fee for this. But how do they do it? How do they make these ridiculously awesome action figures with tons of accessories? Still using the same tricks of the trade with the reused parts. How do they do it? So there is a greed factor. There is a business factor here that is at play, and we have to acknowledge that. We have to take that into consideration, whether it comes to movies or comic books or action figures or video games. At the end of the day, these are all businesses that are in business to make money, not to make us happy. If we are happy at the end of the day, that's icing on the cake for them, because that means that they're going to make more money. But in 2023, I'm going to be cutting back from Hasbro. I just can't support this practice anymore. Specifically with Star Wars Black Series. There's only a couple of figures that I'm really excited about for next year. Anakin, Padme, a couple of others. That's all I'm excited for. Round out a couple of my shelves and I'll be done. G.I. Joe is my one. You guys can tell over here, just tons of G.I. Joe stuff. This channel does a lot of G.I. Joe coverage and will continue to do so. My His Tank's on the way, by the way. I'm going to be doing the His Tank. I may not get that review. That review is probably not going to make it out by the end of the year, but first of the year, I'm going to be getting to the His Tank. So don't worry, that's coming. But even with G.I. Joe, which I love the classified line, there's only a few more that I want. There's probably 10 more figures that I want, and I can probably walk away from that line because they're getting to the point to where they're getting through all the characters that I love, and they're going to start making a bunch of characters that I don't care about. They're already doing that. So I'm going to have to be focusing in the new year on other lines that make me happy, that I love to collect, that are fun, and I feel like I'm getting my money's worth, and that I know at the end of the day that company is not laying off 1,100 workers before the holidays. At the end of the day, I know that those companies, their CEO is not making $9 million off selling us garbage. That's how I feel. That's my take on this. I'm sorry to be so negative and sour, but this just hit me. This just hit me in a bad way. And I've been talking with a bunch of my buddies in my local toy group and a lot of my friends online, and we all kind of feel the same way. And it's a shame. It's a shame because it's taking the fun out of something that is supposed to bring us fun and joy. And all it's doing is just draining our bank accounts. And, yeah, I don't know. I'm rambling. And I'm sorry, and I hate to be negative, especially here in the holidays, but I just wanted to get this out and let my feelings be known. And I want to know how you guys feel. What do you feel about Hasbro and about their timing of this and about what you get for what you pay for? And if you're going to be cutting back or where you're going to be cutting back. You may feel the same way about a different company in 2024 and may be focusing on something different. For me, I think I'm going to focus on Mythic Legions in 2024 a lot. I really love that toy line. Super 7 is another company that's having its own financial issues, but a company I still love. And they're going to be making my vac metalized Silverhawks in 2024. So I'm excited for those. We'll see how it goes. We're going to see how 2024 shapes out. And the only other video outside of some reviews that you guys are going to get from me by the end of the year is I am going to do my end of the year toy review. So stay tuned. That is coming. I've been working on it a little bit here and there. And so that's coming along and I'm super happy. I'm kind of holding out for one more figure to ship and get into my hands before the 31st, because I think that figure is going to make it on that list to see if how that's going to affect the list any. So anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. I super appreciate it. Please continue to check us out over on Instagram at Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I am your Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I'm your host, Mark, and I will see you in the toy aisles.